My father have a few stories, this one is what I recall most accurately for now. This story is from my father who fought in the Vietnam War as a squad leader, not sure how to translate his rank, but he had 12 soldiers under him as an officer who graduated from an academy. By that time, half his soldiers are barely men, just kids drafted into the war as replacement for those who have fallen. 1975, the South Vietnamese president and many generals took all their money and fled to France. All the troops knew that they have been deceived by the politicians and gave up fighting and fled back to their homes. My father was in the jungles Nha Trang at that moment and knew that the war was lost. He assembled his men one last time to warn them of what to come.
Burn all your uniforms, insignias, pictures, anything you have that may identify you as South Vietnamese soldiers. Blend in with the fleeing refugees.
Not all of his men came from Saigon, so they split up and flee separately. Only one, kid who consider my father his suk fu or master, came along with him to head to Saigon. During the third night of their escape, they came upon a small friendly South Vietnamese JROTC army camp in the dead of night in middle of the jungle. It was the officer reserve training corporate with their trademarked red berets. There was a few watchers awake and everyone else is lying on the ground around the campfire apparently sleeping. The kid officer there, barely looked 17, asked for their ammo, weapons, food, anything they can use to continue the fight. The kid also asked my father to remain and help them fight in their eternal struggle. Despite my father's best efforts to dissuade them from throwing their life away, they said to him it is already too late. The seriousness of these words is lost in translation. The kid rebuffed my father and called him a coward and curses him to be quote,
totally crushed, no bones left for your children to weep over. May spirits of your dead comrades and people curse you and no longer offer you their protecting in the dark.
My father gave up, gave him everything he had, and went to sleep since they had been doing nothing but running away. As an experienced jungle fighter, my father never fully sleep and always have his ears open. Lest you want the Viet Cong to slit your throat. He swore that he could hear the kids wake up and stir about normally around their camp with pot and pans. He and his buddy woke up and found themselves surrounded by corpses, including the body of the kid he talked to last night. It also seems like they died a while ago, rotting corpses and all. The smell was immediately noticeable. Thinking it was just a Viet Cong night attack, he had no choice but move onward home. Feeling that the North Vietnamese are getting too close, they doubled their pace and travels at night and as light as possible. They tried the main road and found that it was congested with civilians and made a killing field for North Vietnamese artillery. Not to mention the looting and stealing of gold, jewelry, and other crap by other soldiers deserting the front lines. Thus he decides to stay in the jungle roads. He recalled that at around 3 a.m. they happened upon a blind bend on a road in the jungle and crosses it. At that moment, a bus came roaring and stampeding towards them in total darkness like a large shadowy monster, and my father quickly dived out of the way. His buddy was not so lucky and was ran over. He died instantly as the bus chewed up his body under the wheel. While weeping for his friend, my father dragged his mangled body piece by piece to his side of the road. He said that at that moment, the insects silenced, the rustling of the leaves failed, the moon stopped dead in the sky. Then he heard laughter of children, men, and women echoing, rebounding, and resonating from jungle mocking him. He fired at the sound with his 1911, emptying it, screaming,
"Have I not fought enough for you people? Take me and not him. He's too young. Take me instead. Take me."
The laughters replied with complete silence. He dug a shallow grave and make a crude tombstone to make a landmark so that one day he may come back and properly lay his friend to rest. In the end, only my father made it back alive. 12 of his comrades died. To this day, he could never find his friend's final resting place.